Well, just a quick look. I don't see any broken teeth right offhand. It's still got oil in it. I'll drain the oil out. Make sure there's no big chunks and pieces. Oops. That was a seat belt the junkyard guys tied on there so they could lift it up with the forklift. A lot of times your oil will be real shiny, kind of a silver or gray, sometimes kind of goldish, and that's somewhat normal wear. Your gears are always going to have a little bit of wear in them. As long as you don't have a whole lot of that, you're probably alright. So far I don't see anything I'm too worried about. Like I said, this axle has fewer miles on it than my truck does, so I mean it's not new, but I think it should probably be okay. And the cost was not that bad. More money than I want to pay, of course. I don't really want to have truck problems and bills of any kind if I can help it, but that doesn't really work that way normally. Yeah, I got just minutes. Look at the line, the shadow coming up the driveway. Almost behind the hill. And then it's going to be too cold to be out here really and get dark too, so I could drive the truck on down onto the fairgrounds someplace, or the tractor I mean, and work on it down there, but I'll do it tomorrow. And my sun is gone. The shade has caught up. That thing ain't even done dripping yet. It's already dropped probably 5 or 10 degrees. So I'll put the inspection cover back on and do this the rest of the day tomorrow. See you in the morning. As Hillbilly would say, back again, man. The sun is over here now. So I've got about probably 4 hours of light. It's hard to get a lot done in 4 hours, but getting out here earlier is what I should have done, but it's kind of hard to get very motivated when it's cold. Anyhow, I'm probably going to have to go in and most likely order some seals anyway, so I probably won't get very far a day anyhow. Anyway, so just now I dumped a couple of cups worth of gasoline into the differential here to get out some of the older oil and sludge and letting that drip. There is a magnet in here, right in up under here, that is supposed to collect any chunks and pieces, if there are any. If something is broken, it's supposed to grab it out of the oil so that it doesn't cause you worse problems. There is a little bit of sludge on that, which means probably some really fine metal filings, but that's normal. I mean, you're always going to have a little bit of wear no matter what, and you know, this axle isn't new, so it's not a surprise. I'm not worried about that. But first off, I need to do, while that's dripping, I wish they hadn't, cut off different pieces and things. I gotta see where these went and how to get that off on mine. The rest of it seems okay. The actual brake lines and things, they look like they're intact. This one brake backing, let's see, get over here. It looks like it's been ground off a little bit. So what I'm thinking of doing, because it's attached to the brake cylinders and the springs and all that. Neighbors. Anyway, the brake cylinders and the springs and all that stuff are pretty rusty, so I'm gonna just take this off and put the ones that are on my truck on there. That'll improve all of that. This bearing or seal in here, it looks like it could be possibly leaking, so I'll replace that and probably both sides. So anyway, go through this a little bit, make sure it's in good shape before I take mine out and put it back in. But new drums, I gotta look on mine and see what kind of wear is on mine. But new drums were, I think they told me $77 a piece. So I'd rather not have to replace those if I can help it. But like I say, I might have to. Looking at mine, I don't know what they look like yet. Anyhow, that's where I'm at. None of this is very exciting, so I'll shut it off for a little while. Oh, and Cindy is doing better. I think she's on the mend. So thank you very much for all your help and prayers. She, like I say, she's stubborn. She won't sit still. But as long as she's careful, I guess that's good too. Dang, I'll tell you what, I am not getting very far with this. Had a hell of a time. It's finally coming off now, but I couldn't get the brake drum off. They, inside of here, get this off of here quick. Inside of here, there is a little adjustment deal that you have to be able to turn to loosen up the brake shoes. What happens, actually this one, other than being rusty, there isn't a lot of a ridge there, but you can see there's a little bit of a ridge right here. What happens is your brake pads hit against that and you can't get the drum off. So you have to be able to take this thing, hard to see in the glare on my thing. Anyway, you have to be able to take this and then turn it to loosen this up. It squeezes these two together, pulls the pads away from the drum to get it off. Most of these have the little star deal right in the middle. And man, I couldn't find it. You stick a screwdriver in here like this, through this hole in the back, and then you push on this. And I'll tell you what, I couldn't get to it. I was fighting it here, trying to find it, and wouldn't turn. I couldn't get it. Finally, I went and got a little better flashlight, and you could see it. But man, what a pain. I don't know why. I've never figured out why it is they don't make this into a hexagon-shaped tube instead of being round, like you would like a real long nut or something on a bolt, and then put this hole, make this round. I mean, it's just a little oval. Make that round so you can get a wrench in there and actually turn that. It sure makes it hard. Anyway, I finally got that off, and I'm already running out of daylight quicker than I expected. But I'm gaining, slow but sure. Well, anyway, now that I got that brake drum off, like I say, it's just been sitting quite a while. It's got a lot of rust in there. I'll be better off if I just put mine off of my truck onto it. I need to pull the axle out on that other side and look at the seal and look at the bearings. Actually, both sides I gotta do that. But anyway, I'm not getting very far very fast. I just called the electrician to see when he planned to be able to get the power in that building, and he's a week or two out. Right now he's at a funeral, which that's the way it goes. Other people have a lot of going on too, and the fairgrounds is closed for the year, so I really don't blame him. He kind of figured that we were done, but we're never done here. There's always stuff to do. To get the axle out, you have to go back to the middle, and you pull this bolt out. It's kind of a pin. And anyway, you pull that out. Then this center shaft, that comes out. Then you push the end of the axle in from over there, that direction. And there's a clip in here that comes out. And then you can pull the axle out. So, do that on both sides, see what my bearings look like, and then I'll probably be out of daylight here after that pretty soon. But anyway, to get these backing plates off, there's 4 bolts in here that have to come out. With the axle out of the way, that'd be easier to get to. Man, I wish I had a shop doing this out here in the dirt. I always drop something, and then it's covered in dirt and grit. Well, I don't know. It is what it is. I've never had a cement pad to work on before, and I'm used to working in the dirt and the rocks, but I got one now. I just need some power. Some lighting, mainly. I can't see what I'm doing in there. It's too dark. And it's going to be dark and cold here soon. So, here I go. As long as I'm doing this, I should probably replace the bearings and that seal. That seal, it's hard to tell. I mean, it looks like it's probably was leaking. The bearings and things, I mean, it's a lot easier to do before I put it back in the truck than it is to do it on the side of the road. Now, hook this other one out and see what it looks like. This one, the seal looks dry. I bet it's not leaking. There's still some oil dripping inside, but the bearings and things, they look pretty good. But like I say, probably, as long as I'm doing this, I'll replace everything that I can replace and have basically somewhat new. Yeah, everything in here is pretty rusty. But see, now I can get to these 4 bolts. And that takes this whole piece off. So, nothing else. Those parts will be the same as what I had on my truck before. I know they're good. I've been using them. And I won't have this rusty stuff. Backing plate came off real easy on that one. I gotta do the other side, and like I say, I'll pull the seal and the bearings, replace those. I go to the parts house and see if they got any. They probably have to order it. And in the meanwhile, I can, this is about as far as I can get it for now. I'll start in on my other one, the one that's in the truck. If I take the backing plate off of that and do the same thing, I'll put the backing plate, this piece that is on my truck, onto this one, along with the brake drums and all that good stuff, and it should be a lot easier to get it done. Looks a little different, doesn't it? Take the ends off, and there ain't a whole heck of a lot to them, really. I mean, it's mainly the gearing. Everything's, of course, hardened and heavy duty and all that stuff, but really not that complicated. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to have to do it. And I got about 5 or 10 more minutes, and that shadow will be to there, and we'll be back in the Arctic. So off I go to the auto parts house. Boring as can be, I know, and I kind of gave up doing some of these mechanic type videos, because the way I do things, and the way you do things, and the way that's considered right is probably not the way that I do things. And there's always somebody that says, oh, you're doing it all wrong, you're going to be sorry, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe, maybe not. Anyhow, see you folks tomorrow, and thanks for watching. It wasn't much today, I know, but none of this stuff's very interesting or fun. Well, here before too long, hopefully we'll be back in the woods and doing some trapping. Bye.